Today on EA Sports, it's Week 12 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Miami Dolphins taking on the Buffalo Bills.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. The beat goes on, doesn't it? A perfect 10-0 to start the campaign.
And it's a good locker room to be in, too. Guys don't show up on game day hoping to win. They expect to win. And so far, they've yet to have a letdown.
Taking it about the 1. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a look here at the veteran under center, their 7th-year quarterback.
And he's had such a sensational season to this point, leading the NFL in passing yards. He's been helped out a lot by an outstanding set of receivers, and he's quick to give them credit. But I think even they would tell you that he's the guy that makes this offense go.
Okay, right? Fury, drill green, check smash.
You got time right there. Alert 3.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. A big play there on the first play of the game. 48 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Ready. Shot, 17. Black swap. Ready, go.
A first down carry now for Miller. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 18 yards that time to push him up, 1st and goal.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Now a handoff up the middle. Hughes. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. That's his 18th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. And And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, these two teams met down in Miami earlier this year with the Dolphins winning that one. So they're looking for the season sweep with a win here in Miami. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 3rd and 4 now. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. Well, that's how you use your safety valve, CD. He didn't appear to be the intended target, but they got it to him, and he was able to get just enough to pick up the first.
And what a great example of where we are right now in the NFL, because if you're a running back, you're not just going to carry it. You got to catch it out of the backfield as well. Those combo guys, they're the ones everyone wants on their team.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll drop to throw. Caught by Turner. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. These are his numbers. From last week's contest, 7 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is the #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were in nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It's a big play there for Miami. "56 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Switch, yellow. Ready.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they're able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. The Bills send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. They'll run on 1st down. Woodson. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, and when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been playing to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion. So now they have to down-focus their thoughts about getting home field advantage and finishing unbeaten. And a touchdown! A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Dolphins have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll set up to throw. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. A good pickup there, 26 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. So the record safely in his pocket. Now it's a question of how high can he go? He's just become the first ever, Charles, to score 30 times in a single season.
Well, let's certainly savor this moment. The first time ever, as you just noted, that someone has hit 30. What a ride this has been.
So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big, this early. But that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
A good return there, 17 yards, and it'll be Dolphin football. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense. But this one, a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact.
Up the middle they go. It's Hughes. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins open the lead up to 34-0. point after, right down the middle. And the rout is on here in this first half. So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second. Now this first quarter, let's just be frank, it's been a disaster so far offensively.
Yeah, already down multiple scores, and it doesn't appear they can get out of their own way right now.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
This defense for the Dolphins, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. He'll take it at the 42. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On first down, Woodson.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
That good for 19 and a first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They keep it on the ground. This time, it's Miller. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter.
And the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
The extra point splits the uprights, and it is 42-0. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he is going to have a Bills first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again.
Here we go.
And this offense on third down today, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far, offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Pulled in at the 24. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Mike, 60.
Let's make these babies cry on the way back.
This is Marshall.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Now back to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Parks. Touchdown, Dolphins! A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And the Bills getting set to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. But he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. The Bills send the punter out as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 18.
A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10.
Are you ready? 10 black. Slide. 97. White. White. Rabbit.
Slam. Switch it.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Trying to lay one up deep. He's got a man, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. 67 yards. And the Dolphins are pouring it on.
Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down. And now here's a carry heading left. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. You don't see that a ton, do you? A cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he'll take this one down to the 36.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
2nd and 9 now. Now they go screen. It's complete.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Set, ready, 45, white.
Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic. Yo, Mike 52.
Let's go.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Phillips. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Yellow, 22.
On second down, they'll run it here. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw. Getting this into the hands of Turner. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
Now the Dolphins will... use the last of their timeouts. And with that, they're now out of timeouts, and still plenty of time remaining here in this 2nd quarter.
54. Go, go, go. Right there. 54.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Yeah, we saw that from up here, CD. A tug on the face mask, and the flag comes out.
And we saw that last week they had some defensive miscues like that, and they told us that they had worked hard on it in practice and thought they had it all cleaned up, but obviously the message hasn't really sunk in.
So now after the face mask penalty, here's 1st and goal. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
He'll drop to throw. His pass caught at the 4. Only a yard in the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And fortunately, the Bills jump on it and get it back.
We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league They take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
So crisis averted, but now facing 3rd and goal.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Well, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
And this one is right through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit.
Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing at the break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey,
and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. 75 yards.
And the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bills offense now for one final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. 2nd and 1. He finds his man complete. That's Phillips. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps. A chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Looking to throw. The Dolphins get there this time and they bring him down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll get things started up in Motown. The Jets paying a visit to Ford Field in Detroit. And it is the Jets who have the lead in the second quarter. The Jets trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Next, we head off to check out another game. And that one's gone to halftime with the visiting Jags out in front. The Jaguars seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second?
The Bills trail here, but they will get the football first as we are back underway on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, then they might get hit with a screen. Maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
56 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's 2nd down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, short tackle.
And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Trying to find some space to turn upfield, but this defense having none of it. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Phillips. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left. distance. It's no good, and they will remain well behind.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Inside handoff now, Miller. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle, and if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They'll run on first down. It's Hughes, and he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
And they'll run again.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Dolphins extend their lead yet again. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22.
And here come the Bills.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowout. Like this, no matter how the game looks on paper going in, this one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Ready?
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 15. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. The Bills send the punter out, standing just about on his own goal line.
Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
On second down, it's Hughes, and he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47.
68 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
On first down, Hughes. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard. And here's Marshall.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here.
That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Oh, he's got a little daylight.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now Marshall. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Ball sits on the 10, 2nd and 5.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Hughes, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8. Right back to him on first down. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Dolphins are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They run a draw here on 2nd down.
And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. He'll look to throw, and that is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Returnable now for Woodson. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Dolphins offense returning to the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run with Marshall. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 58 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now a first carry for their fullback. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They'll give it up the middle to Miller. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Hughes, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to.
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. They'll look to throw now on first down.
And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Now a handoff to Miller. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards.
Now the ball comes loose, and the Bills have recovered.
Been around teams. And they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever...
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down? So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Well, CD, that helps the home team as they try to erase this deficit. Give them the penalty for pass interference on the defense.
Yeah, and they certainly haven't been happy with what they've seen so far, have they? They're certainly hoping that that call now might get the fans back into this one.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. Up the middle they go. Woodson, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on 2nd.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Back to throw here. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And it's fielded at the 34.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here with Miller. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
To throw on 2nd down, Patton. He finds his man, complete. It's Parks, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter, and Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball, and sometimes even your special teams, and that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Buffalo offense back out ready to go. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game.
And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Back to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
They'll look to throw here. And now here's another interception. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Down at the 25.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Boy, missed tackles continuing to plague this defense, and they surrender another big play and a touchdown here.
Yeah, by my count, at least 2 guys had shots at it, maybe even more than that. But this defense, they looked out of sorts all game long. That was definitely not one of their better efforts right there.
Point after here coming up. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days. That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. 35 yards that time on the punt. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL, and I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that as they continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Well, this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, and you know, as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, you see our guys on offense, they were just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second-half shutout.
So for Miami, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Baltimore Ravens next week. Meanwhile, for the Bills, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida.